In this video, I'm going to go over the external anatomy of the hoof and which portions you will be more likely trimming than others and how you will be trimming each part, kind of generally what to expect and what to look for as guidelines of how to trim each part of the foot. And just excuse this very rough shave job on my boy Dakota here. It was really hot and he was just sweating. He's got Cushing, so he's not shedding out. I just started to partially shave him just to get him cooled off. Now it's cool again, so once it heats back up again, I'm going to give him a proper clip job, but that is why he has this appearance right now. The first thing we're going to look at here is the frog. So the frog is a main part of the hoof. It's very important for shock absorbing, blood flow, and all that good stuff in the hoof. It really is a mirror of the health of the internal structures. The frog is very minimally trimmed. The main parts of the frog that you're going to trim are any flaps that grow over the collateral grooves. There's not a ton here. Or flaps on the central sulcus, which I would trim in this case right here, that big flap. I'd want to open that up. The rest of this frog has shed recently and it's now a nice new hard sole callus, so I would not trim that. Another main part of the hoof are the bars. So the bars come on the opposite side of the collateral groove as the frog, and sometimes they can spread out into the sole like right here. Sometimes they can get lumpy right here. You can trim that down, and sometimes they grow really big here. His have kind of shed off just when I was cleaning them. A big portion of the bar just flaked off. So really the bars are one that has a lot of variance to when you do and don't trim it. Sometimes you leave it for extra support. Sometimes you take it because it's pinching. That one is a little more nuanced, the bar trimming, and you really have to learn to read the hoof for that. Most of the time, the sole should just be left alone. In this case right now, he's a great example of a chalky sole that is sloughing off to reveal the new hard sole underneath. And that is a good thing that you can help to shed. There can be cases of retained sole. That's a little more of an advanced thing. Generally, if you are a new person to hoof trimming, you're just trying to maintain your horse's hooves, maybe in between professional trims, which I do have a great mini course for. If you're interested, you can check it out. I'll link in the description. It teaches you how to rasp and maintain a bevel in between professional trims, all of my techniques for holding the rasp, holding the foot, everything to make it a super easy, safe, and simple process for you. And if you're doing more of that type of thing, just learning, I recommend just not touching the sole because it's not necessary. Your trimmer can do that if need be when they come out. And it's kind of one of those things, better to be safe than sorry when it comes to the sole. So there are times when you would say trim it. I like to more say help it shed, help the sole that's sloughing, you could say. But very rarely there's like sole trimming. You're not taking your knife and carving it out. You're not using a sharp. I have used my nippers to help get out chunks of sole that are shedding, but that's a very rare thing to do, and it's not something I recommend a beginner to do. The main part of the hoof that you trim is the hoof wall. And now this is when people say, oh, my horse's hooves are long. Generally, it means the hoof wall has grown too long. But the hoof wall can grow up, where you're taking the height down off the hoof wall. See the hoof wall, the top of it rests above the sole plane. So that's taking hoof wall height down. Now, some horses will wear all the height off by the way they move. Every horse, I'll set him down. Every horse moves different and walks different. Some horses will wear more at the heel, and you have to trim the toe back a lot and not really trim the heel. Some horses wear more at the toe, and you have to trim the heel a lot. And that all depends on how the horse is moving. If you have a horse that's doing a toe first landing, likely they're not going to wear their heel enough. But I digress. My point being is that depending on how your horse moves, and every horse moves differently, you might be taking more height off your hoof wall, or you might be bringing the hoof wall in more, which I'm going to explain next. Oftentimes, there is less height to take down, and it's more bringing the hoof wall in, especially if the hooves have been left too long, for too long or too many times. The hoof really starts to spread like that, and the hoof wall is not strong enough to kind of maintain that height and grow straight down, and that's when you'll get underrun heels. So again, there's not a lot of height you're taking down, but you're bringing it in. So coming straight with my rasp would be taking the height down. I'm lowering the height. Now once I've taken the height down, I want to bring the hoof wall in, and instead I'm going to come at an angle. So I'm not taking height in anymore. I'm shrinking the hoof wall in. If your horse wears boots and those boots are getting too tight, you've gone too long since you've trimmed, it's because the hoof wall needs to be brought in. Because that's width and length circumference is getting bigger the more the hoof wall grows out. Then you bring it in, you're going to fit back in your boot size. I'm going to show on a back hoof the same thing that I would do. It's going to be, similar because it is the same horse at the same time of year, but hopefully we'll get a few different examples that I can show. I'm just going to clean this foot out really well first. Now, as far as the heels, they are similar when it comes to height. You see this heel has a lot of height on it. I can stick that hoof pick there, down to the sole plane. It's about 1/4 inch. So you can take the height of the heels down the same way. The only difference is you're not really bringing the heels in like you do all the way around the rest of the hoof wall. What you can do on a heel, which is common especially in underrun heels, is to draw it back. So I'm pulling my rasp back and I'm bringing the weight bearing easy. I'm bringing the weight bearing surface back. So with the hoof wall, this is still his broken leg that he's healing from. With the hoof wall, it's down and in. With the heels, it's more down and back. And I just want to show one more example. The camera got a little bit cut off. This is a really good example of chalky sole that is shedding. I'm just using my hoof pick. I'm not using any kind of super sharp tool, but this sole is flaking off and chalky and shedding. And that's okay, you can do that. But that's the kind of, especially for a beginner, the extent of sole trimming I would recommend. Now I want to clarify all this hoof wall. So I'm bringing the toe down and I'm bringing the toe back separate. I'm bringing the hoof wall down, I'm bringing the hoof wall in. You can see I'm doing the same thing, but it's just sometimes called bringing the toe back. For the heels, you bring the heel height down. Now I'm not bringing the heel, when I say bringing the heel back, it's different than bringing the toe back. I mean drawing the farthest weight bearing portion back farther. So that would be by doing this. Instead of actually taking heel away, I'm trying to make there more heel surface. So that's an important distinction. Bringing the heels back and bringing the toes back, they're both called back because you're literally bringing them back. The toe, the farthest point of the toe that's forward is farther back, and the farthest back point of the heels is becoming more back. So two things that are called the same but a different action. For this frog, as an example, I would just kind of clean up the central sulcus here, but leave the rest. There's not really any flaps here, and this horse doesn't have a ton of bar right now, so not a lot to trim there. So these are the parts of the hooves that you trim and what you can expect to trim from each of them. Of course, this is a snapshot of one horse at one time of year on one kind of terrain. This can vary greatly depending on where you live and the time of year. So especially for like the sole, how it was chalky like that, it's very uncommon, at least where I live, in the summer and fall. It's more of a winter spring thing. Generally, sometimes in the summer and fall, if the sole needs to shed, it will come off in big chunks and will not be chalky like that. So it just depends on where you are. Again, the frogs are going to look very different depending on your climate and the kind of ground the hooves are on the most. So this is just something to consider, but generally that is the parts of the hoof you trim and what you would expect from each.